All right, welcome to Buying Gold Coast. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive, solo app. I'm loving the solo apps, and thanks so much for all the feedback too. It's great knowing that everyone's getting so much value out of them. Today, we're actually going to unpack 4 mindset shifts you need to succeed in property and why I believe mindset is so important. You got the practical. Buying Gold Coast, we give so much practical tips, tricks. We chat to a lot of guests as well and try to understand all the fundamentals with property. I always say this though, you could know everything, but if your mindset isn't in the right space or capacity to actually take action, nothing's going to happen. If you can't take action and execute, nothing will happen. And I truly, truly believe a lot of successful, whether it's investors or people who are doing really well in property, especially here on the Gold Coast, what I've identified is this. They've all got a rock solid mindset. They think differently when it comes to property. So I'm going to give 4 mindset shifts in terms of like a really nice quote that's always stuck with me on my property journey that I've been on for, over a decade now. And if you haven't listened to my personal journey, 10 properties in 10 years, I actually give so many key lessons that I'm going to reiterate a bit today as well. So go back and listen to that episode too. Had some really good feedback. But our deep dive today, 4 mindset shifts you need to succeed in property. Number 1, the first 2 are really around the start of your journey. And then the last 2, they're my favorite. They're around, once you have momentum and you're starting to get some real success, what are some mindset shifts for that part of the journey? So as I said, the first 2 are more in the start. The back 2, they're really juicy ones. Therefore, when you've started getting momentum. So number 1, you've got to have, mindset number 1, you've got to have the courage to start and the discipline to keep going. And why I love that mindset shift is because the first few, or the first one in particular, it is the most scary. You're going into ground that is unforeseen and unknown. So you're bound to have feelings of uncertainty. So you really have to have the courage to be able to take that leap and take action. Honestly, I think this is one of the biggest ones. The procrastination of inaction is costing so much to people on their journey. So that's why I always say you've got to have the courage to start, but then you've got to actually have the discipline to keep going, because what happens when you actually buy property, and if you're getting finance to buy property, is you got to make repayments. You got to pay back the loan. And if you're strategic about it, obviously there's ways to offset and things like that. That's a whole nother episode. But if you're someone who can't manage money, can't manage spending, the more money you make, the more money that goes out, you're not going to be in the, game to succeed long-term in property. You might be able to get 1 or 2, but if you want to seriously change your life and your family's life over the long term, you really got to have the discipline time and time again to keep going. So mindset number 1 is you got to have the courage to start, but then the discipline to keep going. Number 2, I love this one, more around the skills you need. The mindset shift you need here is this. Your personal income will never grow further than your personal development. And that's a real key takeaway when it comes to learning what is needed to succeed in property. There's no point having a crack in property and just kind of going it alone. I think the value of getting help, mentors, again, you can pay for professional services like buyer's agents and things like that too, that they're going to be in your corner to help you along the journey so you can learn. I remember early on in my days, it sounds like I'm still in my early 30s, but I started in this game over, a decade ago, and there, believe it or not, there wasn't really any podcasts, so to speak. So I used to actually go to a lot of seminars and read a lot of magazines. YouTube was kind of just popping off back in the day. So I used to love YouTube, and I'd get amongst that. And I just immerse myself in learning, because as I said, your personal income, if you want that to grow, you're going to have to expand your knowledge. You have to think that way. So always understand that your personal income will never grow further than your personal development. Always prioritize that. The last 2, really cool. This is kind of when you're starting to get momentum. you're doing great things. This is cool. Number 3, everyone is jealous of what you got. Nobody is jealous of how you got there. And why I love that, and it's a really good one to remember, is probably everyone you're looking up to right now who's doing well in property or even business. This applies to a lot of facets in life. There's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see, especially in the times now with, social media and, you're seeing all the highlight reel of everyone out there. People often forget that it may look easy online or on Instagram or on social media, and the instant gratification of things seems as though, oh, that must have been a quick win for that person. I can tell you now, every single successful property investor, and when I say successful in property, I'm talking around they've created financial abundance for their family and they're utilizing it in ways which is fulfilling for them because everyone's on their own journey. What I notice with everyone who's doing really well in property from that sense is that they've all gone through a lot of tough times. They've been resilient. And if they were to uncover and share a lot of those journeys and how they were feeling, to be honest, a lot of people wouldn't even try. And I use that just to remember that a lot of the people you look up to, no matter what in property, it's hard work. You have to stay the course of time. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs too. And you have to remember, if you want, the riches of whatever it is you're chasing, and, people are going to be looking up to you, and just remember, everyone is jealous of where you are, but they're not jealous of how you got there. So just remember, the journey is actually far greater experience than the actual destination. So just remember that one. So you could be in the thick of it right now. Just know this is all a part of your journey. So, and you'll look back one day and just think of all the key lessons you learn along the way. And, everyone's thinking it was easy, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that only you would know about. So, just remember that everyone is jealous of what you got, but nobody is jealous of how you got there. And the last one, this is really cool. I really like this one because it just kind of relays from a higher level on what it's all about, and not to attach your identity into like building crazy money and wealth from a financial point of view and buying heaps of properties and and it's feeling the ego and things like that. You just got to always be mindful of this. The richest experiences in life generally come from things money cannot buy. When I heard that, I was like, boom, that is so true. The richest experiences in life generally come from things money cannot buy. So I always remember this mindset, and it stays planted as a top pillar, because you always got to remember what you're doing things for. What is the actual why on building this wealth? Because I can tell you, I've met a lot of very wealthy people and there is no real fulfillment or why attached to it. So they're always chasing more and more and more because I think that's going to give them the fulfillment that they're chasing. But what I realized is truly the richest experiences in life are the things money can't buy. It's, a healthy family. It's a healthy mind. It's a beautiful household. It's a good relationship with your partner or wife or husband, whatever it may be. It's time to experience things in the world like travel and just being present with people at the park or beach. And I don't know, the more I heard that, and the really successful people I look up to, they're always in flow with understanding that a lot of the richest experience are from things money cannot buy. So just remember that on the journey, because again, you've always got to attach the why to what it is. And I truly, truly believe you could have all the financial abundance that you have, you can have all the wealth you have, but at the end of the day, just remember that the richest experiences generally come from things money can't buy. If you can build wealth on the way to where you're going, you can actually expand and help those experiences even better. You can magnify the experiences you have, but just remember that the as I said, the richest experiences generally come from things money cannot buy. And that was a huge, huge lesson. It's always stuck with me for sure. So there's 4 mindset shifts that hopefully add a value. There, as I said, I've got so many, but those 4 in particular, they really relate to, I guess, the start of the journey and the momentum part of the journey. And I really believe attach them to yourself, share this with someone who you feel that might add value to, and just remember that no matter what you do, you're always going to need the courage to start. So hopefully that helps. Let me know your thoughts on that. And that was a really cool deep dive on the 4 mindset shifts you need to succeed in property.